British horses were sent to the First World War front. What happened to the ones that survived?
They settled in the south of France, opened a caravan park.
Of course, they couldn't learn the language, ended up moving back.
Ah, well, but that's what they didn't do, is move back.
Did the French eat them?
Well, lots of people ate them. Probably they were turned into food or they were rendered into products. Yeah, the point is, 1 million horses is a heck of a lot, but almost none made it back home. They thought...
some did, because in Warhorse he did.
Yes.
He came back. He did come back.
1 million horses went to the First World War?
From Britain, yeah.
That's extraordinary. I mean, if you think about just the logistics of getting 1 million horses across the Channel, I mean, they're not all David Walliams.
No, exactly. According to Michael Morpurgo, who wrote that book, Warhorse, you just mentioned, 8 to 10 million horses died in the First World War. And they didn't have a nice time of it, even if they did survive, because they were just... They thought they'd be diseased when they came back as well, so they just didn't want them. So it was a very sad chapter in our story.
Yeah.
It's a bummer, isn't it? I've silenced you.
It's like when they play the Black Beauty music, I just start crying. Well, you know the bit where Ginger dies? It's really, really sad.
You know what? They call him Ginger.
So I would have that music at my funeral, definitely. Black Beauty music.
It's a deal.
With you.
I'll arrange it.
It's a deal with, yeah.
Thanks.
We'll make sure it happens.
Good.
So how fast is that coffin going to be moving? Quite a lick, by the sounds of things.
One of the most popular ones to have now with the coffin going on is the countdown theme. Like that.
It is bizarre the way people go crazy for horses, though. I remember being, like, in primary school. It was the first time I saw anyone... And it did a really weird thing. It really stuck in my head. And there was a little girl in our primary school class. We were, like, 6 years old. And she was just in floods of tears. Just crying, bawling her eyes out. And we kind of went, what's the matter? And she went, I just love horses so much.
Is that how you were?
I don't see why that's strange. I had to write one of those, you know, they sometimes ask you to write things for, you know, your first love. Genuinely, my first love was Frank, and he was a pony. Who wasn't very handsome. He had brown ears and a spotty neck and a really bad sweet itch, so his mane just kind of stood up in sections. And my mother always said if you could love Frank, then everything in the world would always be beautiful, because you thought he was beautiful. And I did.
Oh, that's so touching.
He was lovely. He understood me.
There's a whole...
He did understand me.
Why little boys don't care about ponies? I know families who move because the girl, you know, for the sake of, you know, having more space so that maybe they can get a horse.
Well, we're emotionally mature a little earlier.
Yeah.
About 50 years earlier.
I would never move for a child's hobby. You know, I can see it like John go, but I love ponies. Yeah, well, I like this house, my own house. When you pay for the mortgage, you can stick a pony in every room, right?
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, why are you asking? God.
Your dad, all right?
All right. Thank you. So, yes, the fact is very few horses sadly made it home from the front. If they weren't killed in action, they were likely to be fed to prisoners or turned into fertiliser. I'm sure you can help us a little bit, Nina, on the history of ventriloquism.
Well, I know that it has a very dark history and that ventriloquists used to earn their living as if their words were divine utterances.
Yes, that's the point.
Yes. Not you, Ian.
Sorry, I was listening, but then my hand came out and it felt quite... shocked myself. It happened.
That's really disturbing.
It's quite disturbing.
Really disturbing. That's horrible. That's like Alien.
It's like Lady Gaga's sleeves.
Well, yes, you're absolutely right. It was regarded as a divine utterance or demonic possession, in fact, wasn't it?
And I know one woman died from her ventriloquism.
Who was that?
But I don't know her name, I bet you do. With her utterances, she was objecting to the marriage of Henry VIII.
To Anne Boleyn.
To Anne Boleyn.
Her name was Elizabeth Barton, and she was known as the Holy Maid of Kent. And she was a very good ventriloquist, and so these voices would come without her mouth moving, as it were, from her stomach.
Nice tricks,
in which she would say things, and she became very, very popular until she started to say...
The bloke looking at her tits.
Yeah, well... you wouldn't do that.
You've got yours out as well tonight, Is that to distract from the lip movement?
And she did very well. She was very popular until she said that if Henry VIII married Anne Boleyn, he would be deposed, and Henry VIII didn't like that at all, so had her head chopped off, and ironically, her head was put on top of a pole outside.
And
Tony's
carried on
gate.
talking.
Well, you wonder about it. It is quite a strange fate for ventriloquists to have their head stuck on a pole. But she was indeed, she suffered for her art. But in the 19th century, it became known to be a piece of entertainment rather than demonic spirits. What is this woman doing, though?
What the? Is this Lady Gaga's new album cover, isn't it? She's wearing
It's an experiment.
No, she's using a device that's for sale, or was for sale. It was built in 1929.
Making
a new
thing.
device.
Knitting jumpers?
Patented by Dr. Kurt Jonen. It records the motions and bodily reactions. A lady is pictured being examined by the device. Pneumatic belt records the change of the circumference of her chest. Pneumatic cuffs about the upper arms control the changes of muscle tension. Through a hose is recorded the rhythms of respiration, and another hose transfers the strength of touch.
It's a sex toy.
Yeah.
But what about her hands? That's the clue, and our theme today.
Piano. She's learning piano.
Piano, yes. It's a piano teaching machine. Extraordinary, isn't it? Extraordinary.
Wow.
It's supposed to help you with your piano playing, your posture, your breathing. There have been many others along those lines. There's the chiroclast, which is clamped to the piano and trapped the player's arms. That's the one on the left, so that you were forced to play using only a wrist and finger action.
You were then crippled.
There was the one in the middle, which was the dactylion, from the Greek dactyl, meaning finger, was a contraption designed to strengthen the fingers because there's springs that you're going against in that middle picture.
Yeah.
And it's said that Robert Schumann used that and it actually hurt his fingers, though others say that that was syphilis.
It's a fine line, isn't it? When you're into
always.
fingering, syphilis.
It's all over.
Next to that is the chiro or the chirogymnaste, which is a tiny finger gym, which has got little finger events, and you can see them. But if you do harm yourself by using one of these things, you can always use the bed piano for bedridden people.
Wow.
Which is a rather splendid device. I think you'll agree.
I hope that's securely attached.
That is the laziest keyboard player in the world.
And as you see, it rolls up, pushes away neatly.
That's fantastic.
It's great, isn't it?
I
What
want
is-
one.
You can slide pizzas down from the back.
Yes.
Bill's just sitting there going, I am going to get one of those.
I will. I'm going to get one.
Bill will have one of those.
That's the piano for the bed. The upside-down piano.
That's
virtually.
magic.
It'd be easier to strap yourself into bed and tilt the bed up to a normal piano.
Yeah.
How would a left-handed piano work?
Probably high notes at the left. There it is.
And there it is. That is a left-handed piano. It'd take a hell of a lot of unlearning for you to play on that,
Good
wouldn't it?
God.
Can you imagine? It would drive you mad.
You would.
Transposing pianos. Have you ever played with one of those?
Well, I've got there's a device on the keyboard that will do that.
Yeah.
for you, but
On an electric
on
keyboard.
an
But
electric
there are
one.
pianos that have a
But there are
mechanism that
mechanical
moves,
ones.
mechanical
It's a
one.
lever on the
and it moves it across to the next string.
Oh, it does that, right.
Irving Berlin used one because he only composed in F sharp.
He's like Stevie Wonder, who likes
and
the
he
black
couldn't
note.
read music, but he was the most successful songwriter of his age.
Really?
Yeah, he couldn't read music. He was fantastically talented. I mean, he's the man who wrote White Christmas, for God's sake, let alone Top Hat, White Tie. He lived long enough to be able to see his own songs go out of copyright. Because his first hit was in 1911 with Alexander's Ragtime Band. You know, Come On and Here, Come On and Here, Alexander's Ragtime Band.
They only go out of copyright after you're dead, though, by law.
No, they do now. But in
Right.
his day, it was 75 years after it was written.
Right.
So he lived long enough
God.
to see some of his songs go into the public domain.
How old was
now
he when
it's
he
70
wrote it,
years
then?
after he died. Very young, early 20s. But just had this extraordinary talent.
Here we go. What mistake did Picasso make when he painted this?
He put lots of glue on the frame.
Yeah, they can't get their hands
With the
up.
hands up. Oh, no! Picasso's done the gluey frame thing again.
He left two snooker referees holding it.
Does anybody know what the picture is?
It's Marie-Therese Walter.
Yes.
She was underage, but no, I don't know.
She was 17.
Yeah.
She was underage for what?
For doing what he was doing with her.
Yeah.
He was 45 when they met. She's Picasso's mistress. But when he painted this, who didn't know that she existed in his life?
Oh, his wife?
Yeah, so the mistake was, even with the picture looking like that, his wife, Olga Koklova, recognised that it was somebody else. So that's Marie-Therese Walter on the left there.
He picked her up, didn't he? He's
Yes.
What did he?
He's like, come on, I reckon I'm Pablo Picasso. I don't know. It's
not a
Was she a horse?
Basically, he wasn't a nice guy.
Oh, no, he's a prick biscuit.
Yes.
That's a horse. Prick biscuit.
I bet on that. 2-1, Brick Biscuits. Of the 7 most important women in his life, 2 killed themselves and 2 went mad. It's not a good track record, frankly.
No.
We've got a picture of La Rêve, which is the dream, which also has Marie-Thérèse.
It's also got his cock on her face.
Yes! If you look at the one on the right, that's his penis on top of her head.
Isn't that part of her head?
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was when he put it there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I see, yes.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. That. So
Do you think, did he say, yeah, that's my penis? Or did he just accidentally...
Basically, it's an erotic thing. It's that she's dreaming about sex as well as enjoying it.
That's terrible nap technique. Like, I'm gonna do...
You get so stiff in
Yeah,
the neck.
that's true.
It's so stiff, did you say?
Stiff in the neck,
It looks like she's on a plane, doesn't it? Very small seat, and he's the row behind putting his cock in her.
This is the kind of art criticism you rarely see.
What was the most disastrous haircut ever? Yes. Some examples for you there.
I've got 2 answers. I'm going to get the screen going up there. One is my last haircut. No, or Samson's haircut. Samson's haircut done...
No, Samson's haircut's a very good answer, actually.
That's me.
Yeah. Yes. You just noticed.
Well, you must remember posing for these, or has this been...
I remember the one in the middle. The other 2, I have no memory.
I know for a fact that in 1928, the New England Tool and Die Manufacturing Company was looking for a new screw that wouldn't slip out of the notch. Yeah. And a man named Phillips worked for him, who had one of the most disastrous haircuts ever. It was parted in 4 different...
That would be an example of a disastrous haircut that went good. This one, well, I mean, of course, there are many candidates, and Samson is one, but do you know anything about Louis VII of France? There he is on the left. We're talking about the 13th century. His queen became queen of a more famous king to us, being British.
Aquitaine.
She was Eleanor of Aquitaine, absolutely
long
right.
hair, yes.
The point is, Louis VII was very religious, and the monks got to him, and he cut that hair off. He looks rather good there, but apparently he cut all his hair off, and she was furious at it.
Oh, right.
So cross that eventually she divorced him. I mean, there are other things too, probably, but the hair is mentioned by historians as one of the things...
He also cut his cock off.
Maybe, I don't know, his mother may have sold her...
Has your mother sold a mangle?
Maybe that had happened, yeah.
I divorced you.
But the consequences of the divorce were enormous, because she then went over, she was incredibly rich, she took her kingdoms with her, married Henry II, and it began the 100 Years' War.
Yes.
So essentially it was a haircut that began a 100 Years' War.
Yeah, but that's just something you say in polite company. Like when you telling people you're breaking up with your partner, you go, yeah, well, I ain't like what he did with his hair, so I left. You can't really say about the king, he keep farting in bed. Or... I just don't like his haircut.
Yeah, you're right. What is interesting about this poor king is he definitely wouldn't have had sexual relations with Eleanor's mother because he was very abstinent indeed, and he became ill, and the courtiers suggested it was because he hadn't had sex. Yeah. And so he consented to have the Queen sent for, and they said, no, she's too far away. If you don't have sex immediately, you will die. But genuinely being told that he had to have sex or he would die, he actually said he would rather die chaste than live an adulterer.
See, that leads you to believe that he had a bad sexual experience as a child.
Yes.
Yes. And just, because, most men wouldn't rather, face death than have sex. So something happened when he was a kid, maybe a teenager, maybe his wee-wee got caught in the zipper, or you mangled, or...
Yes, the mangle.
Or he said, I'm not ready for this yet, maybe just let me lick your elbow. And the woman just said, do what you do best. And...
Very good. The Simpsons make a reference to the 100 Years' War.
Oh, do they?
Do you know what they call it? Operation Speedy Resolution. Anyway, so we've all had bad hair days, but the one which helped start the 100 Years' War takes some
What was unique about Good Friday 1930 that urgently required 10 minutes of light piano music?
Did Jesus come back, change his mind, and they had to fill in?
No, it was
he
a
was
news
drunk.
programme,
He was
but
drunk.
instead of news, they played 10 minutes light music. Why would that be?
Because something had happened?
Quite the opposite.
Nothing had happened.
Nothing had happened.
And no news
An
today.
announcer came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, there's no news tonight, so here is some music. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. We're on the top. Yeah.
There was no news.
Nothing.
Well, in fact, we've tried to
Anywhere in
check
the
what did
empire.
happen, and aside from football matches, in India there was the start of what was called the Chittagong Rebellion, but which 700 youths attacked the telegraph office and disconnected all communications in the city of Chittagong. But that didn't happen until 10 o'clock. It was too late for the news in London. So there was no news, it seems.
They probably didn't have traffic reports.
They wouldn't have had traffic.
And here we go live to the camera at Hanger Lane.
Yeah.
And there's a bloke on a bike.
Knocks, I wouldn't give you much chance of getting home before 6 o'clock, and that's a fact.
You better call up your maid and butler and tell them to put something in the oven. Yep.
But that's it. I mean, local papers have to deal with no news every week. They still write the paper every week. My favourite ever, when I used to live in Sheffield, the Sheffield Star, was my favourite ever headline: Workshop man dies of natural causes.
Fantastic. Oh, that's bliss.
But what about the story of the giant microphones invading the BBC?
Terrifying. They were hushing that one up.
The incredible shrinking announcer.
What's quite interesting about digestive biscuits?
Well, it's a hard-working biscuit, the digestive. You know, you put cheese on it. There goes chocolate on it. It's a base for cheesecake. It really is a sort of Renaissance biscuit. It's a great dunker. It's a very, very hard-working biscuit. But have you ever noticed that there is a slightly fishy taste about a digestive?
What have you been dunking them in?
So who have you been dunking them in?
Lord. We're in the world of misnomers, but things that are wrongly called.
Do they give you wind?
They were called digestive because they were supposed to be an anti-flatulent biscuit when they were designed in the 19th century. No, that's right. In America, it's
you better have one of these.
Maybe you stuffed it up, I don't know. But
I'd like to see an advert for this flatulence biscuit.
Hey, try it. We're heading right back down the diarrhea highway.
Welcome to the United Kingdom, Mr. The fact is, they are not aids to digestion. In America, it is illegal to call them digestives.
Of course, in America, do you know what we're talking about? Cookies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, which is from the Dutch. Koekje, meaning a cake, which is why you call them cookies. Because what you call a biscuit is more like what we would call, I don't know, a kind of scone thing. You have biscuits and gravy. Explain to the ladies and gentlemen what that is.
Oh, traveller from an arcane land.
What do your people eat?
Everything.
Well,
biscuits is made from self-rising flour, and then they just slop gravy over it, and it just takes up room on the plate.
Right. And it's a breakfasty thing or a lunchy thing? Or?
It depends on what trailer park you live in. Sometimes it's 3 meals a day.
Fair enough. Well, 450 digestive biscuits are baked every second in the United Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah.
They are truly the mule of biscuits.
They certainly are. The last words of General Sedgwick in the wilderness of Spotsylvania.
He hasn't got a mouth. So there weren't any words at all, unless he wrote them down.
In a convenient bubble that he carried around with him.
Maybe in a little notebook of bubble-shaped things. And he just
I'll tell you that the year is 1864. What war was going on then?
Franco-Prussian War.
That was a tiny bit later.
The 100 years, 30 years, 25 years.
Civil, American Civil War.
The American Civil War. So we're talking about a... Yeah, well done. Thank you for cutting that
The
off.
American Civil War.
It is the American Civil War. That was not, however, the question.
Spotsylvania, near to Pennsylvania.
It's Virginia, in fact. It's in the state of Virginia. He was actually with 100,000 of his own men. He was a part of the Union, the Yankee Army, facing 52,000 Confederate troops.
Oh.
And they were just getting ready for the battle. And there were snipers.
Was he saying, easy?
Almost that equivalent. It was hubris. It was one of the most extraordinary last words ever spoken.
This will be over in 5 minutes.
We'll be back in time for Deal or No Deal.
Let me tell you now that you could have played your elephant cards.
Well, I will then.
Nah.
Too late.
He actually said, why are you dodging like this? They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance. And he was shot under the left eye and fell down dead without finishing the word distance.
Ooh, you'd be annoyed, wouldn't you? You'd be livid. You'd be shot in the eye, that's annoying to start with. And you look a fool.
Exactly.
Cheered up the troops, though, I'd imagine. They probably found that irony quite funny, as that...
Troops will. They have that sort of sense of humour.
They do, don't they? The lower orders.
He was known as Uncle John. He was very popular. Ulysses S. Grant mourned his death, said it was worse than the loss of a division. He was the highest-ranking Union officer of any kind to die in the war.
Do you think famous last words are accurate? Because I think they lie a lot of the time. It's always something incredibly witty. Like, you know, dying, that's the last thing I shall do. Whereas, in fact, I imagine they said that about 4 days before they died, and the last thing they said was, nurse! Nurse, it's happening again, I'm scared!
You're probably right. No one got either their elephant point. It may not be the only elephant bonus this
Let's hope
game.
not.
I think you'd spent your elephant bonus at the very start.
Well, that's true. There are extra points if you can tell me. I mentioned Ulysses S. Grant, the great general of the Union Army. What did the S stand for?
Sausage.
I'd so like to tell you that that was
Simon, Stephen, Stephanie.
Simone.
Spanky. Spanky Grant.
Sugar tits.
Sugar tits.
You can see, I mean, the S works. Sugar tits didn't work at all. Follow me, man. All right, sugar tits.
No, actually, the S in Ulysses S. Grant stood for nothing at all. Who can you see here? Let's have a look. It was filmed in 1902. Who's the august gentleman in the beard?
Is George V. No, isn't it? It's Edward VII.
It looks exactly like Edward VII. Yeah. On the other hand, it isn't.
It's not Edward VII.
No, I know, it looks so like
Father Christmas.
And it took place in 1902, which was the year of Edward VII's coronation. You could have played a spend a penny bonus, but I'll let you get extra points if you can spot the lavatory attendant in this.
Is he going to the lavatory in the film?
It's the man sitting down in the throne. The man you thought was Edward VII is, in fact, a lavatory attendant.
He doesn't look so much like Edward VII.
No, that's because he's in profile now.
Ah, I see.
He did look a bit like him full on.
It's not HD either, is it?
No, it's not HD. It's the early days of cinema, and the early days of cinema were dominated by one nation more than any other, really, and they were...
France.
The French, yes, exactly, the French. And in 1902, a French filmmaker called Georges Méliès decided to film the coronation, but he wasn't allowed in Westminster Abbey as soon as they heard how loud the film camera was when it was being cranked. So they said, we will have none of that nonsense here. So he decided to restage it in France and in a studio. And he found this lavatory attendant who had a nice beard, who was the right size, big adipose deposit, tubby chap, in other words. And he basically went through all the, you know, elements of the coronation as happened. And so it was the first filmed simulacrum of a coronation, but it wasn't the real thing. In fact, Edward was ill for the real day, so he was able then to go to England and film the carriages arriving and cut that into the footage. And so that was the only real part. The rest of it was made up. And
what was the catering like?
Probably wonderful if it was French, I should imagine. Yes. What else? Oh, yes, the film went more smoothly than the real thing. In the actual ceremony, the very elderly and almost blind Archbishop of Canterbury put the crown on backwards. He then couldn't get up.
Put it on at all.
No.
Laughing about.
Yeah. He also had to kneel down to swear fealty to the king, and then he couldn't get up again. So the king had to help him up.
Well, that's what royalty should be, a blind Archbishop of Canterbury and a great big fat king who
keeps getting terrible constipation and being unable to turn up at his own coronation.
Exactly. But the film, you'll be pleased to know, was a huge success. Briefly made that lavatory attendant one of the most famous film stars in the world. In 1902, there weren't many to compare him with, but he was huge.
He was one of the biggest film star of the world.
Yeah, exactly. And the King saw it when it came out, and he enjoyed it hugely, apparently, according to a letter sent to us by Pauline Méliès, who is the great-great-granddaughter of the filmmaker. Thank you, Pauline, for sending us that.
Do you think Edward thought it was real? He looked at it and said, I think I've lost weight.
Possibly.
So, in which year did the Second World War end?
1945.
No, what a pity. Who was the war between and against?
Germany and Britain.
Germany.
America,
now, what happened? There was a peace accord of Paris in 1947, but where was Germany? There was no Germany, was there?
Well, there was.
There were two.
So it ended in 1990 when you unified Germany.
Is the right answer when Germany became one country again. 3rd of September 1990. That is officially when the war ended against Germany, because Germany didn't exist until then again. I know it's weird, but it's technically true.
Bloody silly, and I lost 20 points for it.
The notorious pirate Blackbeard has just given me a map. What does the X mark?
The spot.
If anything, I suppose he gave me, maybe it would be his signature, because he probably can't write. Most pirates couldn't. But the fact is, there is no case in history that anyone knows of pirates burying treasure and drawing maps with X's on. It all comes from
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Why would a pirate want to bury treasure? I mean, you know,
stop the other pirates getting it.
Yeah, but he's got to spend it. That's
Well,
what
they can hardly go to Bradford and Bingley, can they?
Oh, you're a chest full of doubloons and booty.
Yes, would you like fixed term or extended interest?
Oh, God, I went to the Bradford and Bingley and got stuck behind a bloody pirate. I was there for my whole lunch hour.
I got 20 Portuguese whore.
That's why they brought in those pens on the chains, because they couldn't get it with a hook. They'd be like that, and so they just hook the pen, it would go like that, and then he'd just do this.
Yeah, there are a lot of myths about pirates. There's no known pirate to have
Man's
a...
face is the colour of a strawberry. That's incredible.
What, you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Right, it's Robert...
Newton. Robert Newton, yeah, who really invented pirate speak.
Yeah.
Jim Ladd.
That's
Robert
all
Newton.
from him.
In fact, Tony Hancock's career started as a Robert Newton impersonator. That's what Tony Hancock did. That was his act. There's an International Talk Like a Pirate Day, isn't there, in September?
Yeah. Somalian.
Somalian?
I met a kid from Somalia.
Yeah?
He came up alongside me on his push bike. He said, you is on TV, innit? You is on TV, innit? And I said, yes, it's nice to see you. don't walk away, don't walk away. You've got to help me get into TV. And I said, OK, well, how do I get in? I said, well, you know, join your local drama group. I don't know what I said to him. He goes, I'm Somalian, but I can do Eritrean.
There may be a demand for that, you know, somewhere.
I said, I'll see what I can do. I'll speak to the producers of Jonathan Creek.
On that bombshell, pirates very rarely buried treasure. They preferred to spend it, and they never once used a map with an X on it to help them locate it. Where did Queen Victoria get her ice from? She liked ice. She liked ice in her drink.
But would it come down the Thames? Would it come down the Thames?
It was imported, I'll tell you that.
From icebergs?
Not from icebergs, no. For a time, it was the most famous lake in the world because it provided ice for the royal families and the rich of all of Europe, and its name was synonymous with ice before electrical and mechanical refrigeration allowed us to make ice ourselves. And it was called Lake Wenham, and it still exists, Lake Wenham. It's now a reservoir outside Boston, Massachusetts. There was a man called Tudor who had the brilliant idea of chopping it all up. There it is, all being chopped up and sent to Britain. And there was a shop in the Strand that had a huge block of ice in it. And they had a newspaper behind the ice to show its clarity, and crowds would gather around. You could read the newspaper through the clear ice. And it was the wonder of the age. And obviously you had to be very rich to afford it because it had come a long way. But it would last a long time. And it was Lake Wenham ice.
Wow.
It's a good bit of American enterprise. There you are.
I bet he was pissed off the day they invented the refrigerator.
I'm sure he was. They tried to suggest that frozen lake ice was actually better for you. What animals did the Carthaginian general Hannibal use to defeat King Eumenes of Pergamon in 184 BC?
Elephant.
No. He used to defeat who? King Eumenes of Pergamon.
Right. Him.
Him, there he is.
Is he defeated?
Horses,
Not
tigers,
horses.
lions, leopards, mice.
Bacteria.
Snakes.
Snakes.
Put lots of snakes
Not
in earthenware
really.
jars.
I don't think of that as an animal, really.
Well, put them in earthenware pots, threw them at the enemy onto their ships.
Really?
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Snakes on a plane was almost the first example of it. How did Snakes on a Plane come about? Do you know?
Snakes on a Plane?
Yes, the film.
People had more money than sense and...
Maybe. No, supposedly it was a group of scriptwriters sitting around trying to think up the stupidest name,
Really?
like a pub game, and someone said, Snakes on a Plane, and they said, you know, that's so crap, it's good.
It would be scary to be on a plane with lots of snakes, though. I mean...
Yes, it would,
I like the film.
Is
It's
it
quite
good?
scary.
The key would be whether the mechanism, the plot that leads to the snakes being on the plane is believable or not.
Well, they get out of a thing in a hold.
Oh, well, that sounds all right to me.
Yes.
And they're snakes, so they can get through tiny
They come up
gaps.
the loo.
Whoa!
Might well do.
Ooh, anyway, yes. Hannibal defeated the Pergamese by bombing them with pots full of snakes. Which war killed the highest proportion of British soldiers?
The American War of Independence. Good guess.
Yeah.
English Civil War.
The English Civil War is the correct answer.
Because everybody killed in the English Civil War was British.
Well, that's absolutely right.
So they must be.
Plus, it was an exceptionally bloody conflict
Very
anyway.
violent.
And the population of the country was quite small.
And all anybody knows about it is the hairstyles. All anybody says, oh, it's Roundheads and Cavaliers. And you think, yeah, that's it, really. One lot looks like the Grumbleweeds, the other lot like Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen, so it all kicks off. That man's got a wooden leg and riding side saddle.
Apparently, 90% of Britons cannot name a single battle of the English Civil War. 80% do not know which English king was executed by Parliament. And 67% of schoolchildren have never heard of Oliver Cromwell.
Good.
As a royalist, do you think his name should be buried?
No, he's a dreadful man.
He was a
truly horrible, one of the most horrible people ever to have walked the land.
But you wouldn't know that if you didn't know about
He
it.
did terrible damage being a Puritan. He wrecked all our beautiful churches because he ripped away all the iconography and graven images and replaced them with the giant thermometers that you can still see to this day.
So how many British people died in the Civil War?
85,000 on the battlefield, another 100,000 dying of their wounds afterwards. People who really suffered were the Irish, of whom it's estimated half the population were decimated by the great Cromwell. And it's an example, a friend told me, who works at the Foreign Office, that dear Robin Cook, when the Labour Party came to power, and they were going to be all ethical, we're going to be all good, they took down some picture in the Foreign Office of a Nepalese prince because they thought it was all imperialist, which deeply offended the Nepalese government. And they put up this big portrait of Cromwell, you know, Republican, you know, sort of lefty figure. And the first meeting they had was with the Irish government. Took one look, and it was like showing Eichmann to the Israeli ambassador. In the 7 years between 1642 and 1649, in the period known as the English Civil War, a staggering 1 in 10 of the adult male population died. Who succeeded Harold as King of England in 1066?
Is there a trick to it?
No, it's just you need to name the person who succeeded Harold as king in 1066.
Or was it the
Don't
bastard?
trust him.
The trick is to know. The trick is to know the answer.
I don't trust you at all.
Is it the bastard, then?
Who's the bastard? Oh, dear. Oh, it was not a trick.
Did England cease to exist in some way, or was it changed in name?
There was another Saxon claimant who was nominally king for 45 seconds or something.
Well, for a few months.
Right.
Yes. Edgar Atheling. And he was 15 years old. But Saxon kings were... How did you become a king if you were Saxon?
Did you have to be sort of
You had to be from
nominated?
one of the 5 or 6 families, and then you'd be elected. Yeah.
It's like the
By what? By votes? They
Yes.
would vote for you?
Yes. Edgar the Atheling. He was 15 years old, but of course William had won the battle, and so he came after him and he tried to fight. He couldn't raise an army, he went abroad, you know, didn't really live
Well, he's
a very
15,
successful life.
so he wouldn't have been able to do anything, would he, really?
Edgar the Atheling was proclaimed king by the English after the death of Harold and reigned for 2 months before William was crowned. Who was Britain's first Prime Minister? Team, panel, friends.
Wasn't it Walpole?
Walpole?
Oh, no. Shame on you. No, it wasn't.
Lord Snooty.
Pitt.
Oh, but you met the young guy. Yes, you met the young
The elder was a tree, wasn't he?
Was it some sort of king that proclaimed himself the Prime Minister before he handed over power?
No, he was a politician. It was in the last
Oliver
century.
Cromwell?
Oh, it was 100 years ago, almost exactly, that he became Prime
Disraeli.
Minister. 100 years ago. Oh, well, never mind. No. 100 years ago would be 1905, wouldn't it?
This show favours people who know stuff.
No, it's so unfair.
Someone like Roosevelt MacDonald?
No, he was a bit later. 1905 to 1908.
Campbell Bannerman.
Henry Campbell Bannerman. Well done, thank you, absolutely. Henry Campbell Bannerman. He's not perhaps the best known of our Prime Ministers, but he ought to.
He was one of triplets as well.
He was actually a very good Prime Minister. He introduced old age pensions, he fought for the poor.
He was the first Prime Minister. What were they called?
They were called First Lord of the Treasury before that. He was the first one to be called Prime Minister.
First Lord of the Treasury?
Yeah, they're still First Lords of the Treasury if they're Prime Minister, but they're Prime Minister and First Lord of the Treasury now. Before they were simply... They used the word Prime Minister sometimes as an insult, but they were never called Prime Minister until 1905.
What was Ethelred the Unready?
He was a king. Yes. His last words, Henry Campbell Bannerman, were, "This is not the end of me." The term Prime Minister was first officially used in 1905, just 5 days after Campbell Bannerman became one. Sir Robert Walpole, generally recognised as the first de
One of the least effective spies, Britain's Michael Bettany, hired by MI5 in 1982. He once tried to dodge a ticket on a train while drunk, and when a guard chased him, he shouted, "You can't arrest me, I'm a spy."
So easy to overestimate the efficacy of the double bluff, isn't it?
Yes. Well, he later tried to get in touch with the KGB to sell them some documents, and the KGB thought they were being set up, and they informed MI5 of his treachery. So he was just all rubbish.
Look, that is the worst Buddy Rabbit you've ever seen.
Probably the worst spying operation happened in 1940, and this is one of my favourites. A dozen German spies landed in Britain, and they were all caught almost immediately. One walked into a pub and asked for a pint of cider soon after 9 o'clock in the morning. They weren't allowed to serve alcohol before lunch.
Half a litre of cider?
Straight away, please. Another couple were stopped while cycling through Scotland on the wrong side of the road, and when they looked in their bags, they found to contain German sausages and Nivea hand cream. And I
what a combination!
I know!
It's 9 o'clock in the morning! I've had a cider, Hans.
I thought it was because no British soldier would have hand cream, but it turns out Nivea's German. I didn't know that.
Is it?
It's German.
Oh.
One of them spoke no English at all, but the one who spoke English the best said his mission was to find out how the people is living, how many soldiers there are, and all the things.
I like it was a documentary, basically.
There are some people who think they were deliberately sent by senior German officers to sabotage the plot because they didn't want to invade Britain. But,
That's the Germans for you. At the time. Come the time. A lot of them have mended their ways since.
For our friends in Berlin, Richard's address is...
Now, what should you do if you see a Spartan with a smart new hairdo? There is one. It's slightly Boris Johnson, but it's a Spartan. It's a very handily placed scabbard, though.
Well, I can't see the paper guy. We'll just move that. If you give them a wide berth, do they have their hair cut before combat?
I'm going to have to give you all those points. That is exactly right. Yeah. Before the Battle of Thermopylae, the Persians made an enormous mistake, and one of their spies who'd gone to the Spartan camp said, oh, they're all the Ned and Nancy boys. I've just seen them perfuming and doing their hair. We're going to win.
So,
What they did...
you go anywhere tomorrow, then?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm going to battle. Oh, that's not who you get.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, the Persians. Oh, yeah, they're a nasty lot. We should go with...
What they
Is
did...
that over Thermopylae? Oh, I'm not supposed to know. Oh, I wouldn't tell anybody.
What the Persians didn't know is that when the Spartans did their hair, it meant they were fighting to the death. They were prepared to die. They were preparing their bodies for mortal combat.
Who's going to notice your haircut anyway when you're running with your junk hanging out like that?
I've never been called junk before, but
Put on some pants before you go into battle.
You think, some fighting pants,
Yeah.
the best fighting pants. What else do we know about the Spartans?
They're really good in that film, 300. Very erotic.
Yes.
Quite camp, actually.
Very camp. Oddly enough, it could have been camper because in the actual historical fact, those 300 Spartans were accompanied by 700 thespians.
Yes. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's do the show here!
It ain't half hot, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely boy.
You waste of space, what is you? And all that. But
Dog, I got a grey
Mr. Lordy, I got a grey hump.
Were they all very different? These city-states, was it sort of stereotyping? They said, all those Spartans are like that, the Athenians are like that, or were they genuinely run on very different lines?
I think they were run on different lines. I mean, as you know, the Spartans and the Athenians eventually went to war, and sadly for most of us who loved classical civilization, it was the Spartans who won, who were the least interested in art and harmony and music and mathematics and logic and politics. They were a warlike race. It's a bit like as if the Klingons beat the Vulcans in the world of Star Trek. And it's sort of, that is what kind, yeah, it would be. And that's basically what Star Trek is kind of based on. In fact, thinkable thing, I know, can you imagine such a thing?
Or the Daleks.
Yeah, yeah, warrior people.
Or Britain beating France or something.
Yes. Do you know the word laconic?
I don't know, is it from Star Trek? Why was King Charles XIV of Sweden ashamed of his tattoo?
It's Dudley Moore, isn't it?
Charles XIV of Sweden.
Well, of course, Bernadotte, one of Napoleon's
the right
generals,
answer.
went to become king of Sweden.
He did.
And did Charles XIV, was that Bernadotte?
It was.
And he had a tattoo, I love Napoleon, on his arm.
No. He wasn't appointed by Napoleon. He was actually appointed by the ailing Charles XIII. Napoleon regarded it as a joke. But Bernadotte had been a young revolutionary, a Jacobin. And he had a tattoo that said, death to kings, as a young man. Wow. Then he was adopted by the old King of Sweden, Charles XIII, became Charles XIV, and was incredibly successful and completely backed away from France, had an alliance with England,
the Great
with
Coalition.
Russia, invaded Norway, became King of Norway as well. And the Bernadotte family still rules Sweden.
Yeah.
They are still the kings.
It's very confusing that period because, I mean, Napoleon had Irish generals. He even had a Scottish general.
Yeah.
You know just because you came from somewhere, you didn't have to fight for their army.
No.
Why was Sir Billy Butlin such a little devil?
Holiday camps.
Butlin's
Yes.
holiday camps?
Yeah.
Minehead, Scarborough, Filey...
Skegness.
Yep.
Well, the chalet's little.
So, no, but Billy Butlin himself...
Was he tiny?
He was. And if you think about the age he is, you might be able to work this out.
Second World War?
No.
First World War.
First World War. That's the generation he was. And in the First World War, they had something to make people fight, which was called...
Bromide.
No. It was a law.
Oh, because...
Conscription, yes. But one of the things that could get you out of being conscripted was that if you were...
Tiny.
If you were small.
Did he pretend to be bigger to...
No, he, as it were, fell under a particular desperation that the British Army...
Did they start a short army?
Yes, they literally did. Lord Derby, the Earl of Derby, said, now, hang on, there are a whole load of short people, as it were, getting under the wire. And all these tall people are fighting and dying for us. We want more people to die for us. There simply aren't enough people dying. And all these short people are living. So we're going to have a short brigade. And they were known as the Bantams, the Bantam Brigade.
These
they were. I know.
Presumably quite good. You could play on the opposition's, or, you know, the opposing army sense of perspective.
Yeah.
Some way you're like...
Those soldiers are really far away.
We have edges.
These were men under 5'3", and Billy Butlin was one of them.
They became known as the Devils, in fact, the Devil's Dwarfs, because they were so... the reputation for brawling and mischief. They were very, very aggressive. Here they are being inspected by a splendid man in a moustache. And
German shin injuries up 75%.
Our legs are being shot away from us. We do not know why.
Surely they should have just put them on each other's shoulders in a long coat.
Oh, yeah.
The most famous of them was called Henry Thridgold, who was only 4'9", and he was believed to be the shortest soldier ever to have served in the British Army. There he is next to quite a tall Scottish soldier. But that's a short chap, but chirpy and cheerful and ready to lay down his life for our country.
I hope you didn't shake hands with him.
Hey, now.
That's given my husband and I a whole new avenue for bedroom role play.
You be Henry, and I'll be a Scots Guard.
Well, there you are. So next time you go on a Butlins holiday, you can say, well, thank you, Billy, for putting your life at risk, despite the fact that you weren't as tall as most soldiers.
And he survived.
He survived in order to create these holiday camps. Yeah.
With tiny beds.
With...
What's sticky and well worth stealing?
A friggin' nice stick. I don't...
Wow!
But like a good stick, like the best stick you've ever seen.
OK, you said stick. I thought you said something else entirely.
Wow. You're not going to avoid... Stick.
Stick.
A stick.
Sorry,
Stick?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I'm having an identity crisis.
No, it's fine.
No, you said stick.
Friggin' nice.
Did you say stick?
I agree that when my son, if we go for a walk, he finds the best sticks, and he will hold on to that stick to a point. My wife won't let them in the house, these sticks, so they've been outside. So he will leave it on the doorstep, and the next morning, when his stick is still there, it's like the PlayStation 5 has been delivered. It's like a box to a kitten, a stick to a kid.
Wait till you get him a toy.
I know.
Ah, there's a bloody forest out there. Help yourself, mate. It's like Toys R Us.
It's a weapon, it's a friend, it's a companion.
Exactly.
I love
Rose knows.
that.
Like a stick.
She knows.
OK.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what the question was. So sticky and worth stealing.
Jam.
Sort of. It's kind
I'm going to say Post-its, because you don't ever buy that kind of thing, do you? You just steal that from
just
work.
from the office.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's the problem with the work I do. I never go to an office.
Yeah.
Stationery stealing.
It'd be a good idea.
What's that?
For a website where you could buy some stuff, but there was a shoplifty corner.
That's such a good idea.
And if you avoided being detected by a couple of windows and you could get into the shoplifting room, you could nick a couple of things and get away with
That's
it.
such a... Let me write this down. I'm so sorry.
Because the fun of nicking something is gone at the moment, isn't
Have
it?
you
No one's
shoplifted?
nicked anything for ages.
I've never shoplifted in my entire life, though. Have you shoplifted?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Are
As
you
a
kidding?
schoolboy, it was an absolute rite of passage.
Oh, my God.
I remember I had friends who had an aquarium and they'd go in the pet shop and just get weeds out of the fish tank.
I stole a Kinder Egg when I was about 13. I felt so guilty that I actually took it back the next day and put it back on the...
Alice, have you shoplifted?
They should...
I think you know the answer to this. I'm
Alice.
such a goody two-shoes. I haven't. But
So the three women have not shoplifted. I'm just putting it out there.
Rose has committed many crimes.
I committed fraud. I've been to jail for fraud, but that's a clever one.
Were you the person at school who got other people to nick stuff for you?
100%.
We had people like that.
A real
Go
racket.
in there and get me something. Or if you don't, I'm going to beat the
Rose
crap
went
out of
straight
you.
for Ponzi scheme. $200 billion Ponzi.
100%.
OK, so we are going for something sticky, but it's something you could put on pancakes.
Oh, syrup.
Maple syrup?
Maple syrup. So, over several months, from 2011 to 2012, there was a group of thieves, and they stole 3,000 tonnes of maple syrup from Canada's global syrup reserves, aren't we? Who's not glad that those exist, right?
Oh, my God.
It became known, and I love this title, the Great Maple Syrup Heist.
Oh, good
I know.
Good name.
Does what it says on the tin.
What should we
literally.
call it?
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like there have been other heists, but they just stole a sachet or something. So
when does it become a heist?
When it's enormously valuable. This is the most valuable heist in the whole of Canadian history. So Canada produces 80% of the world's maple syrup. 90% of that comes from Quebec alone, and they have a strategic reserve of about 160,000 or more barrels, which are worth $1,800 each. OK, it's quite a lot of money. And this is controlled by a group called the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers, the FPAQ.
Great bunch of lads.
I know, such fun at parties.
They sound like a laugh.
And they keep control of the supply. And the reserve is only checked once a year. So the thieves went into the place, and what they did was they systematically removed some barrels, temporarily replaced them with empty ones, siphoned out the syrup, refilled them with water and replaced them. Perfect crime, OK? Because nobody knew until a syrup inspector, I mean, the job of dreams, I think.
Wow, isn't it?
A syrup inspector went and had a look, climbed on a stack of barrels and nearly fell because of the empty ones weren't strong enough to take his weight. And he raised the alarm, and in total 9,000 or more barrels had been emptied of maple syrup, worth $18 million.
Ring the alarm bell.
When is Guy Ritchie going to make that film?
I know.
I want to see Jason Statham doing a Canadian accent.
Floating in a tank of syrup.
Just return to the 19th century and think about false teeth. Now, what were false teeth made of in those days?
Wood.
Wood was used, supposedly.
Abraham
George
Lincoln had wood
Washington.
false teeth.
Yes, indeed.
And he would fall asleep in Congress or wherever they sit. And they were sprung-loaded, these things, so if you relaxed your jaw, the spring would fire them out of your mouth.
That's absolutely right, they did.
Leap out.
They did have springs, in France in particular, there are holes in their gums, so they would sort of hang the tooth on it.
I was looking at my granny the other day and I had a really good idea, OK? This is what I'm going to pitch when I go on Dragon's Den, is to create some dentures that clamp shut every time they sense racism coming out. It's brilliant, isn't it? As soon as you start...
So as soon
you get through a lot of Christmas.
I've got nothing against them personally, but...
I think the word but would be the key, would be the trigger word. It would be, I'm not racist, but... Teeth is the answer.
Well, yes, exactly.
I think they used teeth.
They did use teeth, but whose teeth could they use?
What, either... Did poor people sell their teeth?
Yes, poor people did sell
and
their
also,
teeth.
I think dead people.
Dead people, but a very particular kind of dead person. You are not allowed to rob a grave. But
Are we not?
Not a grave, no. So there are other places where you might... I know, it's disappointing.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
There are other places where you might find too many dead bodies of healthy young men, usually, who might have good teeth.
Battlefields.
Battlefields is the right answer.
Oh, how
what
depressing.
became known as Waterloo teeth? It became almost your patriotic duty, if you lost a tooth, to fit in that of a dead soldier from Waterloo. There were these scavengers who went around the battlefields, pulling out the teeth of the dead bodies and sending them back in barrels, and people would buy them and fit them into the holes where their teeth were. And
barrels of teeth. How many people died in this battle?
Well, thousands died in
barrels.
Battle.
Wow.
Yes, and each head had 32 teeth in it. Yeah.
And the dead horses, their teeth were sent to the people from the Only Way is Essex.
Absolutely right. But right up until the American Civil War past the 1860s, they were called Waterloo teeth, even though, of course, that was, the Battle of Waterloo was in 1815, so it was, 45 years later. There's a story you may have come across in the newspapers not that long ago about a Polish dentist. Does that ring a bell? A female Polish dentist?
She got revenge on someone by...
Her lover left her.
And she took out all his teeth.
Her lover left her and then went to see her when he had... Stupid idiot, went to see her when he had toothache, and she anaesthetised him and took all his teeth out. But apparently, it was in all the newspapers, but it's absolute bollocks. Can you imagine something in British newspapers that isn't true? No.
What I should have done is taken all the teeth out and then made a little hole in his scrotum and put them all in there. Just loose. Of course. And then sewn it up again.
I have.
Yes, that is a much better idea. I think we can all agree she missed a great opportunity.
Now, here is another. It's Christmas, time for Her Majesty's speech, but what did people sing before there was a national anthem? God Save the King, when does that come from?
I imagine it's Victorian.
I don't think that God Save the King started in Victorian times.
No. No. That's a very good point.
Wasn't it Rule Britannia?
Well, they performed publicly in the same year. So God Save the King it was, first publicly performed in 1745. But there is a third patriotic song which is much older, used to be more popular than either of those things. It was called Britain's Strike Home. It was written by Henry Purcell in 1695 for a production of a play about... I don't know what we say anymore. Did we say Boudicca? Yeah, Boudicca. Boudicca is the way forward.
We still say Boadicea in Essex, where she lived.
I expect you've got it right. It was sung by a druid to whip up resistance against the Romans, and it used to be hugely popular, this song. The entire House of Commons sang it spontaneously in 1797 when war was declared by Pitt. It was played on board ship during the Battle of Trafalgar. The last recorded instance of it being played as a sort of patriotic rallying cry is December 1914. But it's since fallen out of public consciousness, so we've got a quick version performed by the Academy of Ancient Music. Have a listen to this.
Fight, fight and record, fight, fight and record yourselves in new songs.
Do you like it? You come from a composing family.
In terms of kind of patriotic songs,
yeah,
I prefer Three Lions.
I suspect it was written in the kebab house. 3 in the morning. Fight! Fight!
OK, so we are all going to sing. Here we go. Take home, revenge, revenge your country's wrongs. Fight and record, fight, fight and record yourselves in druid songs. That was really shit.
It felt like dinner at Nigel Farage's house.
On the subject of trousers, as a matter of fact, what's the best way of dealing with a wartime shortage of trousering?
Wow.
Yeah. I
ran
think
out
that's
of
just a
trousers.
serving suggestion there. I don't think that...
They ran out of trousers?
Well, they... Obviously, in the war, there was a shortage of material, and how did they deal with it? What's the first thing you would do to save material with trousers?
Put them in trenches.
You try and use less cloth in each trouser.
Yeah, exactly.
One-legged trousers.
In Scotland, you'd wear kilts to...
or you take them off dead guys. The enemy.
Yeah. But no, generally, the first thing that they banned...
Oh, pleats and things like that.
Turn-ups.
Turn-ups? That saves about an inch of...
Out of a million?
Come on.
It's a lot of material. And they were so serious about this that if a tailor sold someone extra long trousers, longer than they needed, knowingly, really, so that the wife would then make him turn-ups, the tailor would go to prison.
What about older gentlemen who pull their trousers right up?
Yes, they do, up to the nipples,
Right up to the nipples there.
Yeah.
Why, now, first of all, what's going on there? Why don't they stop somewhere on the way?
They've got no pleasure in life left except to give themselves a wedgie every time.
Why don't they just pull their trousers right up to just under their eye?
Then they would save on shirtings.
They could have a really long fly. Like...
You're
That's an enormous fly. The fly must be about 2 feet long.
The time you've undone it, you've forgotten where you're...
Just zip there. Nurse!
Also, boys under 12 couldn't have long trousers, they had to have shorts. And, of course, women couldn't wear stockings, so what did they used to do?
Oh, they used to draw a seam on the... Oh, there they are.
There you are.
A seam on the back of their leg.
Yeah. Because they felt that if their legs were bare, it was considered that made them look available. I don't know if the boys in the shorts thought the same. But, it was... Firstly, they would stain their legs to make them look tanned with gravy browning and things like that. And then they would draw a line down the back, which looked like the seam on nylons. I mean, it seems crazy, but...
Why didn't the soldiers just draw pictures of trousers on them? I'm in pinstripe.
That brings us on bioluminescence to what comes from Glasgow and glows in the dark.
Is it Sir Alex Ferguson's nose?
Is it the River Clyde?
It's not the River Clyde, neither. We're talking about food.
Luminous food?
Yes, luminous food. It's an idea that comes from creatures like the anglerfish.
Is it a deep-fried Mars bar with a torch attached to it?
A deep-fried torch?
Well, you're in the right. You're in the right area with deep fried. What I believe you call carryouts are the food to go.
Yeah.
What is the most popular food in Britain, supposedly, these days.
Chicken tikka masala.
Chicken tikka masala, which was invented in Glasgow. And there is one.
Oh, that's a particularly fine example.
That may be a used one. One that's been through the system. I have a horrible feeling.
Morag, get me a bed of rice.
Yes.
The children shall eat.
Well, there is a company called Biolume, which is planning to have food, including curry, that glows in the dark, using extracts of marine creatures that glow. And they want to make beer, in particular, that glows in the dark, children's fizzy drinks that glow in the dark. Chicken tikka masala is not something that exists in Bangladesh or in India. The story of it goes that there was a restaurant called the Gaylord in 1966. It was the first place to serve a proper chicken tandoori.
In Glasgow?
Rather popular.
Or London?
In London, Mortimer Street in London. And the story goes, somebody came into a restaurant in Glasgow where they were serving this new tandoori chicken and asked for some gravy to go on it. And the chef improvised with tomato soup and cream and spices. And up grew this strange creature that is chicken tikka masala, that has no definition, that can be hot, it can be mild, it can be brown, it can be orange, it can be grey. But according to Robin Cook, is the great British national
Glad
dish.
to say, I had a curry once on the Isle of Man where I was doing a gig. It was served with a cup of tea and some bread and butter. It's fantastic, don't you?
Can I just mention that since we're being disparaging about the Scottish diet, that we don't all eat chips every night. Sometimes what we do is we'll have some chips and leave them aside till the morning, and we have them cold the next day, and that's a salad.
Deep-fried pizza is the and Mars bars.
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
Not a myth. The Mars bar as well. It happened once. He dropped his Mars bar. I'm not wasting that. He scorched his hand getting the wrapper off.